Now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk Hookup. Get ready for more of the best fishing information and the hottest tips on improving your angling skills. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Yamaha Outboards. Reliability starts here. Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. And by Rancho Leonero, where your wildest Baja dreams come true. And now, Southern California's sports fishing voice, the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Mexa, and Corey Sandin.
Hey, welcome back. Hour number 2, Let's Talk Hookup right here on the Let's Talk Hookup app and radio network. Pete Gray here. Rock Cod Rick Max is still in Alaska. He'll be back tonight. So he'll be back on the show tomorrow.
Having a good time.
Yeah, they're having a good time up there at Kingfisher Charters. And I wish I was still up there too. But, hey, we're glad to be here at Encinitas Ford with Corey Sandin, my co-host here. We did a fantastic job last Sunday and with Doug. And what a great show, man. We have a lot of great Let's Talk Hookup listeners here that showed up. Thank you very much to everybody. And Rosie and Jeff Flowers are here, or RH, as we call him. And
Rosie's husband.
Husband. And from Cedros Sportfishing, we're talking fishing here. We're talking Ford cars and trucks, and just really stoked to be out and about here.
To be up here, Pete, at Encinitas Ford, such a beautiful place, easy to get to. Really, I mean, Mark Wheeler, you have an awesome place. It's literally probably 20 minutes in the county for most people.
You got
anywhere.
it.
Yeah.
Just north of the fairgrounds.
Yeah, easy to get to, for sure. And, boy, what's some great prizes we're giving away today.
It's crazy. I mean, if you want to give us a shout, the lines have been absolutely jammed the whole time, but 833-288-0973. And for a step up to the mic, we're giving away a pair of Maui Gyms. How could it be any better than that? Wow. A pair of local kind.
Yeah.
Soft black in color with a sea blue and gray lens. Blue Hawaii lens material. It's that super thin glass. A casting contest going on, giving away Shimano rod, AFCO tackle.
Now, the AFCO tackle is going to include an AFCO fillet knife. We're going to
brand new fillet knife.
Brand new fillet knife. A couple of Psycho Pro spools and an AFCO paint neck. Yeah.
Man, all kinds going on. The Shimano lure package.
Oh, that's a big one, too.
Plus, the winner of the casting contest qualifies for the big grand prize. Is that on the
8-day trip on the Searcher this November?
And you know what's amazing is hearing Art talk about the 50-year anniversary.
50-year anniversary.
Yeah, that's an amazing deal.
Boat. And that boat is stronger than ever.
So come on down. You can win a trip for one on the limited 8-day in November.
Well, hey, let's find out what's going on. The Catch Report is happening right now. The Catch Report is sponsored in part by the Fish Pros at Fisherman's Processing in San Diego. Not only do they offer the best fish processing when your fish returns to the San Diego landings, as well as bringing it in from your private boat like I do, now with Fish Pros to market, you can purchase fresh fish, smoked fish, jerky fish, spices, rubs, smoked cheese, their famous tuna burgers, and don't forget that Pokey Kit, which is
the Pokey Kit.
Right?
Oh,
exactly.
Dude. I did the Pokey Kit.
Turned you on to the Pokey Kit, right?
It's the greatest.
Pokey Kit from Fisherman's
So
Processing.
easy. Just cube up your fresh-caught tuna and let it sit for about 6 hours, and it's unbelievable.
So you could step into their Liberty Station location or check them out at fishermansprocessing.com.
All right, let's start it off with our private boater, our fishdope.com reporter, Captain Mark Wish from Pacific Edge. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Pete, Corey, guests. Well, we're rolling into summer with some fine summer-like fishing for sure, man. Just lots of opportunity along the coast, out there at the islands and offshore. So I'm going to start on the beach here at the famous Horseshoe Kelp. Man, we had some good water push in and a whole lot of barracuda with it. It was really good fishing, one of the best days in a long time yesterday for just about everybody, I think. Wide open fishing. They're biting the jigs, biting bait. Private boats trolling the big plugs. It was all working well there. And better bass fishing with it and even a few yellowtail mixed in. So that bodes well. Hopefully that holds up. Bass fishing a little farther down the beach there. It's just been absolutely stellar. That water's been warming up and cleaning up. It's been 70-plus and clean. And, man, they're biting. The spawn is on, and those calico bass are chewing all along the coast here now. It's nice to see. At the local islands, they're definitely biting. Catalina, lots of yellows on the front side there. A little bit more squid available for the guys around the back. And a lot of that squid is going to the other islands. It's really working well. On the outside, It's that time of year that San Nicolas Island is starting to bite, right on schedule actually, yellows and sea bass along the sand spit. You need the good weather to get out there, though, guys. That's way offshore, and it's out there in the real world of weather. So you got to kind of catch your weather windows there for sure. Same setup at SBI, yellows and sea bass there along the Boiler Ridge out the back. And then Clemente, oh, man. For a while, it was mostly on the front side. All that yellow was stacked up on the front. And but with the weather better, that back is getting checked out. And lots and lots of yellowtail along the major spots, east to west, the whole back side there has got some fish and a few sea bass mixed in there also. And offshore, we're finally seeing a little bit of signal up above the border, a little bit centered out there, kind of like from the corner out toward the 43, which is good news. And some of it's that bigger fish, too, that bigger bluefin, so that's getting interesting. And the main zone is still farther down, slipping outside a little bit. Pretty good fishing in there yesterday for the guys that did the distance. Congratulations to my friends on the Magellan there. They had three really nice ones there, nice going Robin boys. So anyway, there is just so much. I mean, we got stuff at the upper island, Santa Rosa, Santa Cruz. We got wide open yellowtail fishing at the Coronados and everything else in between. It's time to go fishing, guys.
Yeah, no kidding. And I know the guys at fishdope.com have had all the information, Danny and Jeff and the boys, keeping people apprised from Catalina, Channel Islands, all the way down the border, down to the tuna grounds and stuff like that. Fishdope.com is your source for all the stuff you need to know when you go fishing. $20 off a new membership to fishdope.com using the code HOOKUPNOW. Lowercase, no space. HOOKUPNOW is your $20 code. And for the world's best bait tanks and good advice, how do we find you, Mark?
Well, P, we're in Huntington Beach. We're on the corner of Bolsa Chica and Edinger there by the big Chevron station. And we are keeping regular hours again, which is nice. And it's busy. I mean, everybody's got their stimulus checks, and a lot of guys still got time off. It's like, oh, my God, we're busy.
That's good.
And the fish are biting.
Yeah. It's great. But phone number at the store, guys, area code 714-840-4262, and the website's PacificEdgeTackle.com. And I would seriously think about going fishing, guys. There's an awful lot going on. That's good.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for that. We appreciate that, and we will talk to you next Saturday, and we'll work on getting Marcos up from C4 Sport Fishing here to complete our catch report. But in the meantime, let's bring up Eric Oles. Eric is here at Encinitas Ford. Eric, you around? Do we see Eric?
Here he comes. He's over here.
He's right here?
Here he comes?
Okay, here comes Eric. All right, Eric, thanks for coming down to Encinitas Ford.
Good morning, Eric.
Hey, thank you for having me. Anyways, my question is about trolling, because over the few years I've past times being here, I got some of those nomad lures, and you can troll those pretty fast. And when we're going from spot to spot out there looking for yellowfin tuna or bluefin tuna, we like to troll, and we troll those things at like 14 knots. But my friends are like, well, we tried to put a cedar plug back there too. Would you put that shorter back farther? Because it was one of the things we argue about. Well, should you do it short or farther?
As far as a nomad or the...
No, the cedar plug.
What do you think, Mark?
Where do you get bit?
Right, exactly.
There you go.
That's kind of maybe run it a little bit longer, I would think, huh, Mark? Get a little bit better action out of it?
Yeah. Keep it down. You got to depends on how much whitewater you're getting from your hull, right?
Yeah.
But you got to get it to clean up just a little bit before
I've got a catamaran, actually. So.
Oh, okay. So maybe because of the different way the hull goes through the water, maybe you can run it a little shorter. Where do you get bit? That'd be the first thing I'd ask.
Well, I still haven't got bit on that nomad yet, but hopefully this year. I'm actually going out tomorrow, so where would you suggest La Jolla for yellowtail?
Man, La Jolla at that north end, and what I would do.
And also the green tanks. You heard Fred earlier.
Yeah.
I know they've been catching yellows along the green tanks there off of Point Loma.
And if you're listening to the show last week, Doug Kern was talking about a lot of sea bass along the kelp line too.
Just changed my mind. I'm coming out of San Diego tomorrow.
Exactly.
Well, you got bait. And there's going to be a line for bait either way. Either way you look at it.
Hey, one other question. I just bought one of those Shimano DCs, the Corrado.
Oh.
When are they going to come out with the bigger ones? Because that thing is beautiful. I was throwing a 3/4 ounce lure over at the pond over at Miramar when I first got it, so I could kind of get under the radar. I couldn't go to the reservoir, but I almost hit a duck on the other side of the lake on that thing. But that thing is incredible. So do you
cast
think they're
it a
going to be
mile,
coming out
right?
with like a trank style, or I know they got the
with the DC
Calcutta.
technology, I wouldn't be. Hey, it's Shimano. I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see them do that.
That Calcutta is beautiful, but they don't have it here yet.
I'll tell you what, you book a charter with Ben Florentino, and I bet you'll see all the new stuff.
Yes, good idea.
Can you get me a discount card? I tried the Filipino thing with that. That doesn't work.
The connection didn't work.
Hey, thanks for coming down, Eric.
Flyer.
Appreciate you coming down to Encinitas for Joel. Let's go ahead and jump back on the phone.
Let's do it. Like you said, Joel. Joel, calling from Fallbrook. Welcome to the show this morning, Joel.
Yeah, good morning. I was wondering, can I use just a passport card, or do I have to have a passport?
You know, that's such a great question because those passport cards are so easy. For the most part, you don't leave them at home like you do your passport. You always have that passport card in your wallet. And, yes, you can use it. Since we are walking across the 390-foot sky bridge at the CBX, you can use your passport card. All I ask is that when you do book the trip, you make sure that whatever I have on file, whether it be your passport or your passport card, you let me know what you're going to use because I'm the one that makes out your visas. And I am OCD, and those visas are perfect, and so I need to know exactly what you're using. But, yes, the passport card is the easiest thing, and I would definitely recommend it.
Because you're entering via land.
On foot, correct.
Yeah, okay.
If you were to fly over the
have to
border,
have a passport.
you have to have a passport book. But since we are walking across the border, passport card will do the trick.
And that works for the Mexican government also.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, smooth.
There you
I
go.
like it. There's
Very
a reason
good.
why it all works.
Yeah, that's it.
Good one,
You're
Joel.
awesome.
Thanks a lot for the call this morning.
Hey, I see we have Marcos of C4 Sport Fishing on to conclude our fish report.
Yeah.
Good morning, Marcos.
Good morning, guys. How's everyone doing today?
Excellent.
Yeah, well, that's good because we've got some excellent fishing. It's so nice to actually be able to call you guys and have some reports again. And it was a great week here. Starting with those half days, a lot of calico bass on there. Yesterday, New Seaforth in the morning had 101 calico bass, 127 in the afternoon, some barracuda, a little other stuff mixed in there. So great fishing on those half days with those calico bass and barracuda. The full days, back to the islands. The San Diego and Sea Watch were at the islands yesterday. 2 boats, 53 anglers between them. They had almost 160. Actually, they had exactly 160 yellowtail and one halibut in the mix there, too. I'm not sure how that got in there, but there's a halibut in there. So great fishing on those half days and full days, about what you'd expect at this time of the year. And I know you're just talking about passports and, of course, fishing the islands there. Passports will be required for those full-day trips. So if you don't have a passport, it might be kind of tough to get one now, but it's definitely something to look into.
Passport
we talk
or
about it a
passport
lot.
card, right, Marcos?
Passport or passport card, but you can't get the card without the passport. So,
Yes. Yeah.
you know, if you don't have it yet, definitely, I mean, you're talking, you know, spending maybe a couple $100, not even, you know, if you get both of them, and that's going to last you 10 years. So
Right.
you might have to miss one fishing trip, but it's going to last you for the next 10 years there. So definitely start looking at that if you don't have the card because the fishing at the islands is great now. Those offshore trips, so seeing a nice mix of yellowfin, some yellowtail, so some bluefin in the mix there. And we've got all kinds of trips scheduled right now, so definitely check the website. We're back to full speed here with those half days, full days, overnights, day and a half. We've actually got the Aztec leaving this morning. He's leaving at 9 this morning, fishing kind of a reverse 2-day there. He'll be back Monday morning. So definitely some options for everyone there. Seaforthlanding.com. Check out the full schedule there. You can make reservations online. If you want to call down to the office, talk to us in person, or you have any questions, 619-224-3383. And you can always come down and visit us in person. Tackle shop is open. Just make sure to bring your face mask with you, which also applies to those trips when you're going on a trip there. So lots of options to get you out fishing, some nice weather, some spectacular fishing right now, and we'd love to get you guys out there.
Fantastic.
It's good times
Good
for sure.
stuff,
And
huh?
we've been talking about it all show too, Marcos, about the half day and the full day trips on the San Diego and the New Seaforth for the half day, but it's so limited that you nearly have to make a reservation just because of the limited availability.
Especially, I mean, for any day, but especially the weekends. I think the San Diego's already sold out through this into the second weekend in July there. They've got a couple spots left, but those trips are selling out really quick. And not just the full days, the half days, too. New Seaforth is only taking 35 on there. And,
wow.
I mean, it's a limited load, but 35 on New Seaforth, you got all the room in the world.
Now,
So
now with the
kind of
San
a
Diego
bonus there.
full, I'm sorry, Marcos, but with the San Diego full, you have the Sea Watch online?
We'll have a lot of the boats filling in. The Sea Watch will fill in on some of those. The New Seaforth will fill in occasionally. You know, we got some of those overnight boats. Sometimes they'll fill in one there also. So generally, if we have 2 boats, we're going to put them on there. And even then, just keep an eye on the website. Make sure you make those reservations ahead of time with, all that shut down there, almost 3 months of not fishing. Everyone's dying to go fishing, and those limited loads are making for scant, availability. So definitely make your reservations as far ahead as you can.
Perfect,
Awesome.
Marcos. Appreciate the call from C4 Sport Fishing. We'll talk to you next Saturday. Now let's continue the catch report. Let's go to the sky.
The eye in the sky.
The eye in the
There
sky.
we go.
Tom Green,
Green,
our fish spotter from the Sac Smith Spotter. Good morning, Tom.
Hey, good morning, Pete. Good morning, Rosie.
Good morning, Tom.
Great show so far today.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I got to tell you, we're seeing a lot of fish down there. What a turnaround from the last time I flew. Big schools. And the beauty of it is they're spread out over probably a 100-mile area.
Wow.
And, no, it's looking good. We've got, still a lot of those bigger fish. I know that sounds great, but it's pretty tough. But there's starting to be a sprinkle of the smaller fish down below, and they're trying to work up. They're going to be here before you know it, and I think there's a little sprinkle of yellowfin in with them.
Nice. And I noticed you flew both Thursday and Friday, and I noticed there was quite a difference in the two reports. Tom, tell us about that.
Well, I went down I guess it was Thursday, and I saw a couple of real deep schools up here, down below the 302. And I looked and looked and looked, and I couldn't find any more. And I kind of worked around and seeing scattered fish everywhere. And in my business, when you see that scattered fish, stand by, because it's going to happen. The next day I came out, saw some really nice schools down there below the 302. It was quite a ways down below the 302, but some really big schools. And then I worked on the inside, and my gosh, I mean, it was just school after school after school of I'd say 80-pounders, 40 to 50-kilo fish.
Wow.
And when I say schools, I don't mean little Mickey Mouse schools. They were all better than 100 tons each. They were big schools in there.
Oh, my.
And then I went down where the boats are fishing down below, another 100 miles below, maybe not quite 100 miles. And everybody's drifting, and I couldn't find a fish. The only fish I saw were the fish jumping around the boats. And I told them, I said, I hope to God you guys are finding them on the sonar, because otherwise I'm going to go hang it up. But that was it. And they're the ones catching the sprinkle of yellowfin and the smaller bluefin. So they were having a good time. Everybody was in a drift.
So the spread of fish is just insane, but where they're fishing down below is just deep, and you couldn't see it.
Yeah, it's out of range. I think it's out of range for the day boats, of course. Maybe 2-day trip or something. I don't know. That's your realm. That's not mine.
Sure, I got you.
My trips are 30 days.
Yeah. Well, when's your next flight, Tom?
Plan on going Wednesday or Thursday of next week, just depending on where. We always try to pick the best weather to go. It's always the better the weather, the further I can see. So that's for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, Tom Green,
and I gotta tell you, Rosie's got a gold mine. Rosie and again Adrian and Patrick, that teamwork there is absolutely fantastic. Cedros is the place to be. I love that place. Yeah, I wish to God I could fish out of there year round.
Well, you should know. You kind of founded the
whole thing.
Yeah,
I was just going to say, Tom, it was all because of you that started.
Well, that's true. Adrian and I started it up, and we fished it. You say old school Mexico, Rosie?
Yes.
You should have seen it when Adrian and I started. That was old school Mexico. What you guys have got there,
I have pictures. I've seen it.
It's not old school Mexico.
No.
No, it's pretty darn nice. Well, Tom Green, Sac Spotter pilot, thanks for finding the fish for us. Sounds like a tremendous spread of fish, and every day it just seems to get better and better.
Let's go fishing.
Let's go, man. Mark's foaming at the mouth here. He wants to go catch another big bluefin for sure. Thanks a lot, Tom. We'll talk to you next weekend, hopefully further reports. And that is our catch report today. That wraps it up. A pretty complete catch report.
It is, for sure. And the report is sponsored in part by the Sato Crimp and Winder Company, with products for serious fishermen. The Sato Crimp system is the best way to make your own Spectra and fluorocarbon or mono to top shots. Easy, cost-effective, time and big fish proven. Some commercially made top shots can cost as much as $40 or more. Get the Sato Crimp and supplies at selected tackle stores like Fisherman's Landing, and The Longfin. We talked about them last week. One of those cool shops.
Yeah, for sure. But Sato Crimp system is the awesome system. You got to get it if you want to make your own and have some great times out there. Hey, let's go ahead and bring Eddie from Vista up. Eddie is standing right here. Come on, Eddie. You're next up on Let's Talk Hookup right here and live at Encinitas Ford.
Good morning, Eddie.
Good morning. Oh, hi, Rosie.
Good morning, Eddie.
Glad to see you here. Hey, is there would there be if we don't get to go on our trip, would there be a plan B?
There's always a plan B and plan C. So, okay. So you know me. I never take no for an answer. I keep on working at things. There are so many things that we have in the works right now. Unfortunately, due to COVID, you know that some people may have been furloughed, laid off, or we have a few people that just don't feel comfortable with the travel. So as we get further on and see exactly when our opening date will be, if people can't make it, it'll be open to the guys that were on the earlier trips first. So my June trips, you know, or God forbid if the July trips don't go, you guys are going to get first right of refusal of the trips that do open up when they come around.
Okay.
So, and which also brings me to the expansion of the lodge. Okay, because so we were hoping to have the expansion of the lodge done for this next season, okay? But due to COVID and, you know, part of the proceeds from the 2020 season were going to be for opening up, you know, the new lodge. That has been put on to delay. So, but as soon as we get that expansion done, you know, all of a sudden we double in size.
That's what I was wondering.
We are going to double in size, and we will be running trips.
So you run 2 planes?
No. Nope, we'll have the same plane. You guys aren't. There's not going to be 24 on a trip. There's still 12 on a trip.
Okay.
But we're going to stagger the trips.
I got you.
So you might fly in on a Monday. The next group is going to fly in on a Wednesday. There'll be staggered trips, and we will not. In the lodge, since there's going to be the lodge is going to be all together, but it's going to be our original section and then the new build. And so if you, depending on your trip, you might be still all in the original lodge or the new build. We're not going to kind of mix it in. So it's easier for housekeeping that way. So they'll be able to go in and say, okay, you know, the new build is moving out today. They can change everything and freshen everything up.
But that won't be this year.
Won't be this year.
Okay, all right.
It won't be this year. But just to, again, if your trip didn't go, you're going to have first right of refusal of any trip openings that may come up for the 2020 season.
Cool.
All right, Eddie.
I'd like to give thanks to Corey before I leave for
teaching
me how to rig the weedless and how to fish.
It's a cool way to do it, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it.
He helped me and showed me, too. He showed me the way. I love fishing that weedless, that 5-inch weedless.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, like you say, it's better to have 1 bite on that than 5 bites on a plastic. Now, I like having 5 bites, mind you, but that 1 bite you get on the weedless
it's
is
all
so
visual.
Fun.
It's all visual.
So
like Eddie's probably talking about the 7-inch, which I made for calico fishing, right?
Yeah.
So it's a little bit larger offering, but with all the 13 to 15-inch calicos around, Pete and I fished the 5-inch swimmer, which is I made for freshwater, but it's awesome for saltwater.
Yeah.
And rigged on a 7.0 Gamakatsu, it's just a smaller offering. You'll catch a 12-incher, but you can catch a 12-pounder at the same time.
Now, Corey also showed me something really cool, Eddie, and I only showed you this, was the knot.
Oh, boy.
Tying the San Diego.
The tricks and the info is coming out.
Yeah. Can I tell it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. We're on Southern California Sport Fishing Voice, right?
You tie the basic San Diego knot, but then you take the top and you go back through the bottom again. And what that does is nothing snags on that top of the knot when you clip it off, and basically you have like a weedless knot.
Let me see if I can say it a little bit cleaner.
Yeah.
So when you tie your San Diego knot, leave your tag in longer than you ever would.
Yeah.
Take the tag in back through before you tighten up on the knot. Take it back through on the back end between the knot and the eye of the hook.
Okay.
You got it.
I got it. I'll be practicing when I get home.
What that does, it lays it back and it doesn't snag
backwards.
all the surf grass, whether you're fishing the surf or the kelp. There's always that little pieces of grass
and
and
you leave
stuff.
about a half an inch long.
But that's about right. Yeah. You actually take, I'll finish it up. I'll go all the way with this whole thing. You take a pair of scissors like your mom would curl the ribbon on a present. Take the scissors, press the line up against the scissors, run it up. And as you do, it'll create a 90-degree turn in the fluoro and turn it backwards so it lays completely clean on the back of the bait.
It works.
I know Eddie's like, what the heck did you just
try
tell
it?
me?
It's easy and it works.
Yes.
I can do it.
Well, and I have one thing to add to that, just to go a step further. If you take that setup to Cedros, that calico setup there, every cast is a bite.
Every cast,
it. That's it.
That's where I want to be right
Pretty
now.
much, yeah. Thanks a lot, Eddie,
Thanks
for coming.
all the tips.
Appreciate
Awesome,
it.
Eddie.
All right. Hey, let's head down to another Eddie. Eddie at Palmas de Cortez in beautiful Los Barriles. Good morning, Eddie.
Hey, Pete, Corey, Rosie, how are you guys?
Good.
Morning,
Hey,
Eddie.
doing terrific. Now, Palmas de Cortez, Playa del Sol, open for business, right?
Yeah, we were so excited. The governor gave us permission to go into phase 1 of reopening, which is actually, we went from phase 6 to phase 5, and that allowed hotels and fishing to get back going again. And so Sunday I flew down from L.A. right into Cabo, and I wanted to be there for the reopening for Monday, and we had some boats go out on Monday. We had 15 boats go out on Tuesday. It was amazing. We had the 54th annual Roosterfish tournament that was there. They didn't want to, I think it's the longest running tournament in Mexico as far as I know. Wow. 54 years. They have not missed a year. So they hung tight. They wanted to come down. They were the first ones down there. And boy, was it worth it. They were averaging anywhere from 20 to 30 roosters per boat per day. It was just off the charts. Never seen anything like it in my 20 years. So fishing was incredible, and we're so excited to finally be back out on the water and get the boats out. And we're looking forward to getting our season off to a good start.
Yeah, no kidding. So you can make reservations now, get out, and get down to Southern Baja to absolute paradise at Palmas de Cortez or Playa del Sol right now?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I wanted to kind of do it myself, just to have a first-hand account of how it works. Super easy. I bought my tickets 3 days ahead of time on Alaska Airlines, $275 round trip. I got down to the airport. It's basically, just to make a long story short, it's the same as it was before all the COVID stuff happened, except you got to wear a face mask. Just put your face mask on. You're going to get on the plane. You're going to fly down to Cabo. They're going to pick you up. They're going to take you to the resort. Everything's easy. There's certain protocols in place that you got to follow, but that's about it. It's super easy. There's no restrictions. I know that they said that there was the border closure between the U.S. and Mexico was going to be extended to July 21st, but that did not affect us at all as far as air travel. It's okay to do that because we're getting a lot of people calling us and asking us about that, and I'm just trying to get the word out that it does not affect air travel whatsoever. It's easy to fly down.
Eddie, we hit on that earlier with Rosie from Cedros Sportfishing, and that border closure is basically saying that Mexican nationals cannot travel north over the border. That's the border closure.
Exactly. Yeah. So flying down, no problem. Like I said, long story short, just wear a mask and everything else will be exactly the same as everyone's used to. They will check your temperature when you get to the hotel, and they got the sanitary gel and all that stuff, and you got to wear your mask when you go into town and things like that. But other than that, fishing is great. I know, Pete, I sent you a picture yesterday. We caught a 222-pound yellowfin tuna yesterday, which was awesome. We've had a 55-pound Dorado already landed, a 50-pound Wahoo. My favorite story, though, was the first day of the Roosterfish tournament. The boat pulls up to the dock, and this lady gets off the boat, and she's walking towards me, and I'm like, how'd you do? And she goes, 16 roosters. I'm like, wow, that's great, 16 roosters for the boat. And she goes, no, I got 16 roosters. The boat got 31 roosters. I was just like, wow.
That's good. Wow, that is awesome. One thing I'll mention to you, everything's the same, like you said, Eddie, but when you go to LAX or San Diego, I can tell you from personal experience Thursday, when you go to San Diego International, there's nobody there.
Yeah.
There's no middle seats. It's like such a pleasure to fly right now. It's things are on time. It's a good time to go.
I was taking pictures of the airport when I got there, and when I flew home, I just flew home last night, and it was just kind of weird. It was just, there was nobody. So when you go to clear customs, there's no line. You just go right through. I was out of the airport in like 10 minutes, which usually takes me like 40 minutes to get through, but it was just crazy. So super easy. So I encourage everyone. There's been no pressure on the water for the last 10 weeks, so the fishing is really, really good. It took the captains a couple of days to dial it in, but once they found it, man, it exploded. There's a ton of bait in the water right now. So fishing is real good. I encourage everyone to make reservations as soon as possible. We did lose our biggest month of the year, which was June, and everyone kind of rescheduled for August, September, and October. So those months are filling up quick. So if you want to jump on, make a call, book your trip now, and hopefully we'll see you down in East Cape soon.
Yeah, for sure. Palmas de Cortez, Playa del Sol. How do we get a hold of you, Eddie?
877-777-TUNA, or you can check us out on the web at vanwarmerresorts.com.
Great to hear things are going. Great to hear that we're going to have our Let's Talk Hookup Palmas de Cortez Fall Spectacular 26th annual coming October. We're excited about that and just excited about that the Van Warmer Resorts are back open. Thanks, Eddie. Appreciate the call this morning.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Hey, it's Southern California Sport Fishing Voice. We're here at Encinitas Ford. We're going to be right back on the Let's Talk Hookup Radio Network and app.
It's a fact of life in Southern California. Hard water. And if you have a pool, your tile shows it. Here comes San Diego Pool Tile Cleaning to the rescue. With their specialized equipment, SD Pool Tile Cleaning can safely remove the stubborn calcium deposits most pool owners struggle with. SD Pool Tile Cleaning can make your tile look bright and clean, almost like new again. High-pressure pool maintenance cleaning can damage grout, stone, and dislodge tiles. San Diego Pool Tile Cleaning uses a low-pressure media blasting technique to protect your pool surface from damage and yield fantastic results. So stop making excuses for your stained tiles on your pool. Make them look like new again with San Diego Pool Tile Cleaning. Check their website at sdpooltilecleaning.com and let their professional staff rejuvenate your pool tile. When it comes to professional swimming pool tile cleaning service, there's only one name you can trust: San Diego Pool Tile Cleaning. Check sdpooltilecleaning.com.
When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know: CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest it's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere.
You've heard all about it. You know the anglers catching fish have it, so what's holding you back? It's a fact. FishDope.com really does help you catch more fish and burn less fuel. FishDope.com is the only fish finding service with a spotter plane along with a crew of top anglers on the water almost every day that report actual locations and catches. You can get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Martin Island, 365 days a year. FishDope.com is for everyone, whether you have your own boat, fish on your friend's boat, or a sport boat. FishDope.com has online planning tools, moon phase, tides, hot bite icons, and more. So bottom line is, if you don't have FishDope.com, well, you're probably missing a lot of bites. Membership costs less than $50 of gas, and that's for the entire year. That's right, 1 year. What a bargain. Plus, use the special code to save $20 on a new FishDope.com membership. Check it out today. FishDope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel. One of the dream trips for most anglers is Alaska. There are so many lodges. How do you make a choice? It's easy. Choose the one most Let's Talk Hookup listeners return to time after time: Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska. No one does it better than Kingfisher Charters. They offer the best service, the most comfortable accommodations, fantastic food, and the finest charter captains in Sitka, all for the ultimate value. One visit and you will understand why nobody beats Kingfisher Charters. Sitka is famous for some of the best runs of salmon in Alaska. And if giant Alaskan halibut is your target, the expert captains at Kingfisher Charters know the hot spots and can put you on a fish of a lifetime. Plenty of rockfish and huge lingcod are there too. And when it comes to fish processing, the best in Alaska is Kingfisher Charters. It's all included in your package. In fact, everything is included except tips. It is truly amazing how the Kingfisher crew continues the quality of service they deliver year after year. Kingfisher Charters, 800-727-6136, or check kingfishercharters.com.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. We're at Encinitas Ford. A lot of people down there, Pete.
Yes, indeed.
Awesome
Great time
turnout.
here at Encinitas Ford. Thank you, Mark Wheeler. Now, Mark, what are some of the deals, some highlight deals here at Encinitas Ford?
The new Ranger, I guess.
I think the first thing we got is...
Yeah, Corey wants one.
Corey's driving home with
you
it.
can make
Corey,
that happen.
Dude, I
Corey,
think it's
right
cool
after
looking.
this, yeah.
It's cool looking.
But the thing that separates Encinitas Ford from a lot of other dealerships is I've been here 30 years. and it's got. I mean, this is what I do. It's all I do.
Yeah.
And I love what I do, and we're here because we take care of our customers. Yeah. And aside from, we have very seamless website where people can go on, get pre-approved, they can get their rate disclosed, they know what the financing terms will be. The whole thing's available on our website, including our discount pricing. So we've got all that, makes it real easy, and then we have a staff of dedicated professionals to help people select the car, get the right car for them, and take delivery. But so then you talk about, well, what's really transactionally, what do we have to offer, as far as pricing? Well, we have new Explorers for $34,000. We have new Crew Cab XLT pickups, 2020 models, $35,000. XLT Crew Cab for $35,000. That's a huge value. We've got Fusions for $22,000.
$22,000.
Yeah,
for a brand new car.
For brand new cars, and then we've got our 4th of July specials will be coming out. We've got we've got the Fusion SEs for $229 drive-off plus tax, license, and dock fee, which is only $229 a month plus tax.
Holy
on
mackerel.
approved credit.
You drive it away.
Yeah.
And is that a lease or a buy?
That's a lease. We've got leases on Edges. We've got lease specials on EcoSport, same $229 and $229. We've got Escapes. The new 2020 Escape is unbelievable. The fuel economy, the size, the quality of the vehicle for $297 a month with, I believe that's $297 drive off as well. And so the deals are there, and then what really drives the deal is the trade-in. So if your trade-in's worth another $1,000 or $2,000, and all the money from the manufacturers make all these transactions really easy, and we're here to make it simple, right? Not complicated. We want to make it easy for our customers and have them become loyal Encinitas Ford
That's it.
customers.
Part of the family.
I've known Mark for over 35, maybe 40 years, something like that. We used to.
No, you must be talking about my dad.
Yeah. I used to call on him when I worked for the radio station up here in Carlsbad many years ago before Let's Talk Hookup, and then he helped us become San Diego Ford Dealers become a sponsor. And
Pete had this idea. He goes, "I'm going to start a show about sport fishing." Oh, that's a great idea, Pete.
Yeah. And hey, you got lucky and it worked out, right?
It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
it's so cool to watch the success of Let's Talk Hookup and how it's evolved over the years. And then I look around, I see 110 people here, all having a great time going, ready to go fishing and part of the camaraderie of this industry that we're all involved in.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you, Mark, for all your support. And my point is, I've known this guy for a long time. He's a good guy, and this is a great place to buy a Ford car or truck. So
thank you, Pete.
Come on down here. Hey, Bart Hall's on the line. Good morning, Bart.
Good morning, Pete, and everybody. What a great show this morning. As usual, when you do your Ford remote dealerships. This is fun.
Good morning, Bart.
Good morning, Mark. First of all, a couple things here. I listen every weekend, Pete. I love the show, and I catch it on the archives if I miss something. But there are two shows through the year that Jenny really likes. One is Dave Hansen, and the other is when Rosie and RH are on. And she says it's because they make fishing exciting. And
thanks, Bart.
Thank you, Rosie.
And for Jenny.
Mark, we're sitting here talking. I'm listening here, and Mark isn't just a fisherman. He doesn't just have a great dealership. Without his support, sport fishing wouldn't be in as good a shape as it is in Southern California. You wouldn't see those Ford vehicles at the Fred Hall shows. Probably wouldn't have Ford as a sponsor for Let's Talk Hookup. He puts his money where his mouth is, and we need to support him as fishermen. If you're going to buy a Ford truck, get down there and see Mark. It's the right thing to do.
We'll take care of him, Bart. Thank you.
Hey, thanks,
I know
Bart.
you will. You took care of us. And one more thing. I'm sorry to take this time, but Wayne was on early about AB 3030. We got to pay attention to that, guys. When the last Marine Protection Act was passed, 11% of the ocean was closed, but it was 40% of the fishable waters. This one is 30%, freshwater and saltwater. They will close off our places to fish. Every place you mentioned in Southern California this morning will be closed if they get their way. And we need money. We have to fight this. Please support CCA Cal. If every angler in Southern California gave him $50, you'd be a member. The money would go to our lobbyists, and we'd probably defeat this thing. And that's all I'm going to say.
Good job, Bart. Hey, thanks a lot for calling. Appreciate that very much. Hey, Jim from National City is up next, and this portion of the show is sponsored by Gamakatsu. You know, they came out and developed a hook for light enough for live bait to swim naturally, yet strong enough to handle your next trophy bluefin or yellowfin. It's the answer, the Nautilus HD, the Nautilus Heavy Duty. Gamakatsu Nautilus HD is available with a solid ring or a standard hook. Nothing beats Gamakatsu Nautilus Circle Hooks. I'm going to tell you that firsthand. Get them now at selected tackle stores and be ready to get bit. Hey, Jim.
How's it going?
Great.
You know, what a great panel. We got Jeff and Rosie here, who I always talk about their family. And Corey down there, great guy, and even Pete's a great guy.
That's awesome, Jim. Hey,
what
Mark
about,
Wheeler.
What about Wheeler?
Oh, boy.
Give me a chance. I wanted to say something about Mr. Wheeler. What a great event. And I want to thank you for your dealership sponsor and the Ford Motor Company. What a great deal. I mean, I think I've been coming how many years have you been putting this on here at Encinitas Ford?
Like a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
Well, we've sponsored Let's Talk Hookup through our San Diego County Ford dealers for 28 years. And I think we've had 11 or 12 years where we've had live broadcasts. Yeah. And every year,
cool.
right here
Thank
at
you,
Encinitas
Mark.
Ford.
That's very nice.
And I got a quick fish report. I went on the San Diego the other day. Now, these yellowtail aren't like Cedros yellowtail, but very nice trip. I took my son. He got 3. I got 3.
Nice.
That's that 10 to maybe 18-pound range.
Okay.
And,
nice being on there with 30 people, isn't it?
oh, it's really nice. And the Liberty was down there the day before, got 140.
Wow.
And Steve Peterson on the Mission Bell, he's been down there longer than both those boats. The Liberty in San Diego been offshore fishing that tuna, but Steve Peterson on the Mission Bell's been down there nailing them real good. So
hey, we are blessed to have the Coronado Islands that close for the Liberty, the San Diego, and the Point Loma to go fish that. And what can you say?
It's great. You know, I've said it on this show before. I think these 1-day, 2-day trips, 3-day long-range trips in San Diego might be some of the best in the world.
Absolutely.
I mean, where can you go for a 1-day trip, catch yellowtail like that with your son, and just a great time?
Not only the largest sport fishing, but the largest bait fishery. You know, the Everingham brothers catching all the bait for the boats, the anchovy and sardine, and
it was good bait too.
They do an awesome job.
Yeah,
hard work.
Good luck. Hey, thanks, Jim. Appreciate that. Steve came down from L.A. Steve, thanks for joining us here. Let's Talk Hookup live from Encinitas Ford. Steve's
working his way up to the mic.
He's
working his way.
Oh, there he is.
Hey,
right
good
there.
morning.
Hey, Steve
Good
came
morning,
down
Steve.
from L.A. to join us here.
So anyway, Cedros is a beautiful place. I have family that's there, and so I kind of asked the question of comfort, the different types of boats that are there, whether or not you have cabin type boats, so that the family, because of course if I go, they go.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
the cabin makes it more comfortable because they can rest and do all sorts of other cool things in the controlled environment.
So all of our pongas are super pongas. We are all 27 to right around 30 feet. We don't have any that are closed cabin, but we do have some that have the bimini tops on it. My favorite spot is that back bench, and that back bench on Javier's boat is 7+ feet, and there's times that I've been totally spread out as we are heading to the next place, and I have fallen asleep on that. So literally. So they are very comfortable. There's lots of room around them. Like I said, that back bench seat, but we don't have any that have an inner cabin type of thing.
Okay.
But we get kids out there of all ages. We get the gals out there, all of us, and it's a good time. And you're on a day trip. It's not like you're out there. We start you off. We try to get you out there at 6 a.m. Then whenever you want to come home is up to you.
And that's what I was going to say, Rosie. For the family adventure, it truly would be.
Yeah,
it's
fine.
Yeah, if you can fill the boat with who you want to be with, and
Yeah.
you can come in at noon if you want. Come in for lunch.
Well, it's happy hour for me. I just make sure I'm back by happy hour.
There it is.
You were also talking about the wahoo will come in
Yes.
in the fall. What's the distance that they're traveling for the wahoo?
You know, for the most part, the wahoo are being caught between Cedros and Bonitos, right around that little corridor
deep
area.
trench there,
yeah,
there.
that deep trench, and they're basically trolling for them. And I have some brochures up here for anyone who wants to see. But we're getting some really nice sized wahoo through there. A couple years ago, where they were catching their limits of wahoo. Had wahoo up to 47 pounds.
Nice.
Isn't that crazy?
Hopefully
Yeah,
this year.
on a ponga.
Right?
Yeah.
How about that?
Right?
Steve, thanks a lot for coming down to Encinitas Ford. We appreciate that. Let's go ahead and jump in the phone.
Let's do it, Pete. Let's talk to Blake. Blake calling from Temecula. Welcome to the show this morning, Blake.
Oh, Blake.
Hi, Blake.
Yeah.
There you are.
Hey,
Good morning.
girl. Hey, about
Blake.
Cedros. Rosie's got that Cedros so organized, it is not even funny. I mean, from the time you start, the magic plane ride, the food, the people, the fishing is off the chart. I just wanted to call you up and say hello and thanks for the great trip last year. My wife, Luce, enjoyed it. She got a nice big sheephead. We got some Dorado and some really nice yellowtail.
And you had a
the
pretty
people
comfortable
there,
room.
The people there are so warm. They're just so loving. It's another world, you guys. Ladies, if you're listening, you've got to go to Cedros.
You know, it was wonderful to have you be a part of that Cedros family. Once you're with us, you are family. And, Blake, I know that you've told me time and time again that, you know, even before you got on the plane, you and Luz felt very comfortable with everything that you had experienced. You had a beautiful room, and, you know, the proverbial mi casa is su casa. So I'm so glad and can't wait for you guys to come down with us again.
Hey, thanks a lot for the call, Blake. Appreciate that very much. Craig in Ocean Beach is here at Encinitas Ford. Let's try and sneak Craig in here before we have to take another break. And thanks for coming down. The casting contest looks like it's in full swing. They might be in a cast-off right now. I don't know. I see some hot guns there.
Yeah,
Good morning.
They're in a cast-off.
Cast-off.
I didn't make it.
Oh, no.
Self-admitted.
Next time.
Thanks for coming down, Craig.
Yeah,
Good morning
I had
to you.
questions about the differences between the F-150 and the Ford Ranger. Can you touch on the differences there in the towing capabilities?
Well,
of each
sure.
and what kind of boat they can tow?
Towing on the F-150 will go up to 11,800 pounds. So what used to be 3/4 ton capacity is now we can accomplish with a half ton, and the half tons get huge fuel economy, better than 20 miles per gallon. So then the Ranger is a little bit lighter truck, but they're now mid-size. So what our former Rangers used to be compacts, now they're mid-size, and they'll tow, oh boy, I'm going from memory here, about 7,000 pounds.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So you could show a 23-foot Parker, no problem.
What is it? What's it
That's
going
like
to weigh with the
about
trailer?
7,000. Yeah.
7,000. Yeah, I'd go a half ton, but we have to get to the specs too. So I'm going in roundabouts here. But the Rangers are just unbelievable trucks because they're quiet, they're big interiors.
What size of an engine in the Ranger?
2.3 liter, 4 cylinders that puts out 270 horsepower and 300 pound-feet of torque, or maybe 310.
Wow.
With a 10-speed. So I don't know if you have a need for it to tow a boat. But they're
not yet, but soon.
Okay, and then we go all the way up to the F-450s that'll tow a house.
Wow.
That they
Just
tow
a boat.
32,000 pounds of trailer
Climb
with a
trees.
pickup truck.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. So we got it all the way through, and then we've got the SUVs, CUVs, and they're all tow capable as well. And the Expedition will tow 10,000 pounds or thereabouts, and so we've got the whole towing world covered.
Sounds like Craig's in the
Very
market.
good.
You might have to take off your headset,
Yeah,
Mark.
for sure.
Exactly.
Thanks a
Whatever
lot
you
for coming
need,
down
he's
to
got it.
Encinitas Ford. That.
Hey, it's Southern California Sport Fishing Voice. We're going to be right back on Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup Radio Network and app.
This is Captain Tim Ekstrom from the long-range vessel Royal Star. With my partners Randy Toussaint and Brian Sims, we have set the bar of the long-range fishing experience. A spring 8-day, summer 5-day, or a fly-down, fly-back 11-day winter trip, we deliver the highest quality long-range voyage you will find. From our premium RSW fish storage to our top-of-the-line chefs and crew, Royal Star distinguishes itself from all others. Want to grab a spot on the Royal Star? Check us out at royalstarsportfishing.com or call Tracy at 619-224-4764.
Hey, it's time for the 30-second Power Pro seminar. Here's the hot tip for those of us that like to fish with small reels for big fish. Fill your spools with Power Pro Max Quattro. It's 25% thinner than standard Power Pro. That means you're going to get more line on that small reel. Plus, you can fly line your bait more effectively. Here's another tip about Power Pro Max Quattro. Your casting distance will increase in addition to increasing your spool capacity. So downsize your tackle and use Power Pro Max Quattro. Check PowerPro.com for more information.
Turner's Outdoorsman, Southern California's #1 shooting, hunting, and fishing tackle retailer since 1971, is right in your neighborhood. Now with stores throughout Southern, Central, and Northern California. No one does it better. Turner's Outdoorsman brings you the best prices and selection, plus a knowledgeable staff that will help make your day on the water or in the field more fun. Stop by your neighborhood Turner's Outdoorsman. To find the location nearest you, check the web at turners.com and sign up for special deals and more.
Hi there, I'm Hayden from Fastlane Sailing and Kayaking, Southern California's go-to spot for Hobie fishing kayaks, right on the water in Mission Bay. Let me tell you, we have big things going on in the shop this time of year. This November marks the 40th year anniversary of Fastlane Sailing and Kayaking, and as a family-owned and operated business, my family and I would like to thank all of our friends and customers for the support over the decades. We also have the brand new 2020 model year Hobie fishing kayaks, introducing new features like the automatically retracting kick-up fins, as well as the revolutionary new Mirage Drive 360, which allows you to rotate and steer your Mirage Drive 360 degrees, giving you 100% control over your fishing kayak. Hobie's also released a new line of more economic options, like the new Mirage Passport 10.5 and 12.0, coming in at only $13.99 and $15.99 respectively, while still including the Hobie Mirage Drive with comfortable raised seats and tons of fishing features. Get down to our shop, Fastlane Sailing and Kayaking, right on the water in Mission Bay, and see it all for yourself. Or check us out online at fastlanekayaking.com.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. We're up here at Encinitas Ford with Rosie and Jeff from Cedros Sportfishing, and we had our Mark drew the random Maui Jim Sunglass local kind winner was Eric. Eric from L.A. drove all the way from L.A. Thank you, Eric.
All right, Eric.
Thanks, Eric. Thanks a lot for that. And now Tommy P. Actually, Rosie's going to draw the random winner for the qualifier for the 8-day limited load trip on the Searcher. And Tommy P. is going to make the announcement.
The winner is Maximus Lopez.
Okay,
Maximus
Lopez.
Right,
Look at that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. And, of course, do we have a winner yet on the casting contest? They're still casting off. Lots of cast-offs there. So that'll be the other random winner. Hang on, Maximus. Don't go away. We'll need to get your information and everything. Tommy will get your name and address and all your information there. Thank you very much. And, Rosie, if somebody wants to book a trip to Cedros Sportfishing, how do we do that?
Give me a call, 619-772-7570. We'll get you down there as soon as we possibly can, or go to cedrosportfishing.com.
All right, and thanks for all your support here on Let's Talk Hookup, and we know you're going to be open here real soon, and we can't wait to get down there. Yes. And, of course, Mark Wheeler, Encinitas Ford, what can I say? What a great place to buy a Ford car or truck. How do we find you?
So glad you guys could come again. Encinitas Ford, www.encinitasford.com, 760-753-6286. We're open 6 days a week to serve you now, and from 9A to 7P. Love to see all our sport fishing friends come down and see us.
All right, what days you close?
Just Sundays.
On Sundays. Okay, very good. All right. Well, thanks, Mark, for hosting us, and thanks for all you do. Thanks to Bill Lippis for doing a great job engineering. Thanks to Dave in the fan studios there, and appreciate his help. Thanks to Adam, Arnie, Tommy, and the Cowboy for helping out. And thanks to all of you for coming out here. Thanks for everybody for wearing a mask. We sure appreciate your support of Let's Talk Hookup. And we'll be back tomorrow morning. Kevin Kelly from West Coast Marine will be back on Let's Talk Hookup tomorrow morning.
This program is sponsored and produced by Let's Talk.